Welcome to day 2 of the 30-day protective hairstyle challenge. My name is Francine Tuku and welcome. Let's get right into it and not waste any time. Today I am wearing some 2-strand twists. Now this is a color that is really bright. I wish that there was an in-between. I had this color. They were supposed to be the same color. I had some hair in my stash from the beauty supply store and from Amazon, and they were supposed to be the same color, like a 613, but as you can see, they came a little bit differently. Now, this one is a little bit darker. It looks like it maybe has something else blended in with it, and this is the actual 613. And my intention was to put the 613 in the back, and then by the time I got to the top, I was going to use this in the front. Now, what wound up happening was that in person, when I put this like right next to my skin in person, you may not be able to see it so much on the camera, but in person, it just kind of blended right into my skin. And even though this is much brighter than anything I think that I've ever put on me, I decided to just go with it because I thought that it looked okay on camera. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I go outside. I'm just gonna wear it, but what I will probably do before I go outside is I will use some Jerome Russell spray like up in the roots to kind of just, tone it down a bit. But I had a few things that I thought would be helpful to you. This again is a multi-generational challenge, and I want to provide you ladies with a number of styles and tricks that you can keep in your arsenal, almost like a little recipe book, if you would. I learned a lot of recipes and tips and tricks from like my grandmother, my mother, aunts, and whatnot. And taking a little piece of something from somewhere and mixing it with something from somewhere else, I could still learn to really cook, not just recipes. Like for instance, one of my elders, she makes these delicious oxtails, was kind enough to teach me how to make them a few years ago, and I've been making them every holiday. They are always a hit. But some of the seasoning that she taught me to use in those oxtails, like I'll use it in different things. Like I'll use it in some chicken, or I even mix it with when I make some peanut butter soup, which is like a West African dish that I learned to make from my husband's family. I use these little different tips and tricks, and they come together and just give me different things So I want to share tips and tricks that you ladies might find helpful. If you're 80 or if you're 18, these tips can be helpful. For this style, I just used regular beauty supply, like Marley type of hair. And I like to use that hair because when I crochet it in, which I'm going to share with you how I did that, when I crochet that hair in, I feel like it gives me the maximum coverage in the roots. Now, this is not hair that came pre-twisted, but I kind of consider it a hybrid of doing a 2-strand twist and doing a crochet. It saves time because it saves time because it takes less time to just loop it through, to slip it in and twist it, than it would to individually put the twist in my hair. That's one plus. Another plus is that I am going to be using these same cornrows. I'm trying to create styles on a cornrow base that I don't change over the next 30 hairstyles. So once I take these out, I can still leave those cornrows in and do something else, or another crochet style or crochet style, or I can leave those cornrows in and put a wig on or a weave or something like that, clip-ins, slip-ins, what have you. I'm trying to be careful about my hairline. So I twisted a couple of twists on a hairpin, and then just stick it in so that it comes nice and close to the front. That way I avoid taking a little piece of my own natural hair, twisting it in, and having the braid be too much weight on it. Even when I was a full-time natural hairstylist, I see people use these tiny, tiny pieces of hair and put a braid on it or a twist on it. And I used to see that when I did hair full-time myself. I never did that. And I always taught the stylists working with me not to do that because it will kill your hairline. What I used to do, instead of taking small parts, I would do like a deep, narrow part and do that all along the hairline. That way the hair wasn't bearing so much weight that was right on the edges of your hair. The weight was more evenly distributed because it had the deeper hair as like an anchor. I'll probably try to do a video to demonstrate that one day. But for now, I made those little, twists to slip in around the hairline so that I could have like the hairline fullness that I want without the damage. And the other thing, I'm going to just show you what I did to create these twists. And the best way that I could do that is to take it out and show you. The thing that I love about doing twists or braids or whatever this way is that it gives you flexibility about where you place the twist. One thing that I see on younger women and older women, but particularly older women, I see where we don't have always an even distribution of hair to work with. And so it winds up looking really flat on top and really full on the sides, which I don't find complimentary. A great way around that is to use this technique, which also has the added benefit of having this crochet base already in here. And then you can also have flexibility about how close you're putting the twist when you get to the part section. So I just, instead of, like using the store-bought twist, which I don't really like because I don't like the loop flipped over on the top, I just slip the hair through where I want it and just twist it in that way. And another added benefit is that when you take these twists out, it has a nice little definition to it. And I will probably do a hairstyle in this protective style series that is based on, this hair when it's twisted out. But as you can see, this is just like really faster than trying to camouflage your dark hair, trying to part every section. And I don't know about you guys, but to me, not only is a grid in my scalp not important, for me, I don't find it that complimentary, to tell you the truth. That's just me. If you are a grid girly, I love you, more power to you. But I don't like, all those boxes. And I feel like you can see my thoughts when you can see my scalp like that. That's just me. But anyway, those are a couple things that I did. The last thing that I did, which also I feel like enhanced that texture you saw, was that I took a flat iron, and check with your flat iron first to make sure that it is not too hot that it will melt this hair. But I took a flat iron and I just flat ironed this hair from the midsection, like maybe from about here on down. And the reason why I did that was because while that helps to maintain like that fullness and that texture and the coverage up at the top that comes from having that highly textured hair, it also made a nice sleek ending for the bottoms. And that other thing that we just discovered together, which was the nice texture that we'll have when we take this out. When your hair is in this kind of style, there are a number of ways that you can style it. And I'm just going to share with you. But one thing that I like to do, I just like this kind of princessy look. To me, I feel like it's like a little princessy look when I take the hairs around the side like that and just pull them low in the back. Now you could do higher, but there's something that I kind of like about this look. I feel like there's something to it that appeals to me. That's just like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 quick style that you could do. Another thing that you could do is just take these curtains in the front. And when I do a curtain style, I usually pull everything in the back. I don't do like a high thing. You could do that if that's your thing, but just for the purposes of you guys being able to see it, I'll do it on the side. You could just wear, you know, one side and a low ponytail like that. I think that looks nice. Or you could do something where you twist it a bit and just pull the ends through like that, and maybe even let the ends stick out like a little, I don't know, like some kind of birdie tail or something. But there are so many things that you can do once the hair is in this kind of state. Make sure you come back for video number 3, because I'm going to do something really different with this hair in video number 3. But at any rate, just to recap, this is day 2 of the 30-day protective style challenge. These are 2-strand twists done with Amazon beauty supply store hair. That's kind of like that Marley hair. And I straightened out the ends of it to have a more sleek look on the bottoms. Used those 2 little pin thingies up at the top to kind of help the hairline. And I did use a hybrid crochet twist technique to create the look. Ladies, I hope that you find these videos helpful. And whoever you are, please remember that it is never too late to start your hair journey. You're never too young. You're never too old. It's never too late. And today is the best day to start. Please give us a thumbs up if you like this. Please subscribe so that you don't miss the coming days of hairstyles. And please share any comments that you have below, questions, comments. I'll be happy to try and answer as many of them as I possibly can. And I hope to see you back here for the rest of the challenge.